Welcome back to the coverage of YCS Prague, where we're now starting round number 10. It's the second round on the second day of competition. So these guys have a really good shot at advancing to the top cut, of course. On the one hand, we got Fabio Zuccato from Italy, who is playing SPYRAL, and on the other side, we got Georg Scherer from Germany, who've been following this entire weekend, who's playing Dino. And he's doing quite well. I think they are with one loss, maybe two losses, I'm not 100% sure, but they're very much on top of the standings, have a very good shot at advancing to the top 32.
Yeah.
We know a few things about SPYRAL. Is there anything that stands out like extremely in Fabio Zuccato's deck?
So Fabio is playing the Go Second version with the SPYRAL Tufts and evenly matched in the main deck. As Joshua Smith was saying yesterday when we spoke to him, very effective tactic to make sure that you get what you want more often, unless your opponent weirdly gives you second, in which case you then get to just play your combo out. So beyond the going second version, nothing incredibly weird. We got double summon in the main here as well. Yeah, it's pretty standard Go Second deck with Psyframe Gammas in there, Ghost Reapers, and Ash Blossom.
Well, maybe we can learn something else about SPYRAL. Let's hear it from the pros. We got Lorenzo Roma, a former World Championship competitor, who's going to tell you guys something about SPYRAL.
So the SPYRAL deck is very good because right now it's like the most powerful deck, and the fields it produces are pretty insane. The deck is very consistent, and like the game plan is just either going first or second. You have pretty good cards, like supporting each role. For example, now we have SPYRAL Tough, which sees a lot of play. It didn't before in London, but now people are going second with Toughs because they can trigger it. It clears a card. It's like more drones. Otherwise, going first, we still have like the Quick Fix Double Summon or Furious Burial Goods combo, which ends in like Tri-Gate, Firewall, Wire, and Sleeper. And you can't beat these fields consistently. It's like we see everyone adapting by playing hand traps, but the deck is still... It's very consistent, it has a lot of power cards, and we see cards that never happened before, like SPYRAL Double Helix is the best Link monster we have so far. It's like, the card is pretty broken, I would say even, but other cards too, it's like Quick Fix isn't one per turn, and the deck just fluently works together, also with past cards, like we have seen the resurgence of Double Summon, which we haven't seen in a long time. Matchup-wise, the deck is pretty well versed in the entire field, because like every deck, as we see, has to adapt to play against SPYRAL. So we see the engine clearly has an advantage over others, because you have to play something to even get to play the game against SPYRAL. Its worst matchup, I would say, is like at the moment it should be Trickster, because the deck can adapt very well. It kind of reminds me myself of Zodiac a bit. Of course, not on the same power level, but the deck can play a lot of hand traps, and SPYRAL is kind of weak to hand traps, but like you can still continue playing. So like the game plan of the deck is, of course, like it's very good, and it's just a good contender in the field because, as we see in the results, it's just it did the most tops, and like the deck just does what it wants to do all the time.
So I would say that Lorenzo is agreeing with you there, Matt. We just heard him say like a couple of things that you just mentioned. Of course, with the going second aspect. He did mention the deck has some problems with hand traps.
Yep.
So Georg is playing Dino, and for some reason we didn't find a pro that wanted to talk about Dino. So you're not going to get an intro for that deck. But we looked at this deck list, and it's also got a few standout cards here, a few options.
Yeah, there's some, obviously with it being a Dino deck, it's kind of strange in general. But
especially after the Forbidden Limited list, it took away the Yang Zing kind of combo out of it.
Yeah, exactly. But one of the cards that we
Survival's
saw
End.
in Survival's End, yeah. It's very interesting.
He's playing 3 copies, right?
Yeah, full 3 copies, and full 3 copies of Foolish Burial Goods. I think he's using that to get Survival's End straight into the graveyard and just use its graveyard effect, which is that you can banish it, target a dinosaur monster you control on one of your opponent's cards and destroy them. I think there's some kind of combo thing going on with that.
Yeah, with the baby dinosaurs, which then search for Oviraptors or larger dinosaurs that then eat your opponent.
Exactly.
All right.
Nom nom nom.
Who are you giving the edge in this game?
I would normally give it to the best deck in the format. However, if you're playing Rogue, if this... sorry, what was the
Georg.
If Georg actually manages to take down the first game with the surprise factor, then he's in for a very good position to win the whole match. Because I don't know how much Fabio would have tested against post-November list dinosaurs.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we can all agree to that. Let's see what you guys are thinking. You can make up your mind yourself. We are now going over to the feature match area to see for ourselves. Right, here we have them. Fabio on the left, Georg on the right. They both have their headsets so they can communicate with each other, have a friendly chat. And I think they're waiting for the signal.
Yeah. They should be. Yep, they've just been given
Is
notice.
the signal? Yeah, you can see movement suddenly. And that means we are ready to go.
Oh, 2 copies of Evenly Matched opening in Fabio's hand, along with 1-for-1 Spiral Rescue and Terraforming.
So he's hoping to go second with that hand, I guess.
Yeah, well, that puts him in a very good position with Evenly Matched. But is our Dinosaur player playing Evilzor Lagia?
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
is every
Lagia and
opportunity
Donker.
that Giorgio actually starts with
George.
Georg.
Just call him George, it's fine.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. George actually starts with Lagia, and that's able to out the first Evenly Matched, and then you just play the second one. So that could actually come up.
Oof, that would be... And he is going first. This could be really, really weird.
Oh, yeah, Lost World. Summons tokens. Actually, I'm going to need to look this card up because I've not seen it in a while.
Yeah, no problem. It says all monsters on the field lose 500 attack and def except dinosaur monsters. So it's like the traditional field spells, just the other way around, that it like punishes everybody else instead of giving your guys a boost. Once per turn, if a dinosaur is normal or special summon, except during this damage step, you can special summon one Jura Egg token, which is not very useful because it's level 1 and 0 attack, 0 def, to your opponent's field in defense position. And while your opponent controls a token, that's probably going to be the important part, they cannot target monsters on the field with card effects except tokens. So in a way, it's like the Spiral field spell because it prevents your opponent from targeting. And once per turn, if a normal monster on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy that many dinosaur monsters in your hand and or deck instead. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's incredibly powerful. It actually curbs the power of Evenly Matched as well, because if you leave your opponent with the tokens, you get to keep more of your cards as well. So that's actually super interesting interaction. And then, of course, you can use it to big combo off by destroying dinosaurs in your deck, which would be Baby Ceratosaurus or Petrichodon, I think is.
Seems like he has been putting in some thought into this.
Yeah.
I don't think he makes it to day 2 without really having something up his sleeve here. They're getting a translation because the Lost World is actually a very complicated card.
Yeah, they're not playing Duel Links. Don't worry.
Some of our seasoned players will say, "Oh, of course, this card's actually pretty simple," but there's a lot of text on there, and it's the interactions it causes in the game.
It was like 3 effects. So here we go, first summon and Lost World triggers. That means a token for Fabio. This is the token. I guess it's one of the dice.
Is he using his fingers as a token?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I thought he was holding
There
on
we
to
go.
a dice, and the judge said, no, that's not fine. Because we need
Oh,
to
he
be
was
able
deciding,
to...
do I get to choose where the token goes? And so,
No,
no,
yeah.
I do. Right.
Looking at these guys' win rates for last season, so Georg only played 2 tournaments with a 64% win ratio. He played the German National Championships and a regional in Nuremberg. But Fabio Zuccato here has a 72% win ratio over 7 tournaments.
That's incredibly strong.
That's good. It's really
what was Georg's finish in the Nationals? Do you have that there?
100th place.
That's really good. German Nationals is one of the toughest ones. In fact,
Yeah.
like
some of the
YCS.
high-level German players actually skip that tournament to try and win easy
Yes.
World Championship points from tournaments they consider easier, like French Nationals or something. And I don't need to say that to sound like I'm talking
just
down.
for the record, I did not say that.
I don't want to sound like I'm talking it down. It's the words from some of the players. They want to move out of the German and Italian nationals to play in other tournaments because the competition is so fierce.
It's
in those
mostly,
regions.
and again, I know I'm opening a big can of worms, but it's something like the Belgian nationals, for example. Because it's not a very large country. So
The
even though
number
there are a couple of really good players there, obviously, we have some great Belgian players, don't get me wrong, there are, in total numbers, there are less really good
you're
players.
looking at maybe 6 truly challenging matchups maybe in your tournament as opposed to maybe your entire second half. And you're also looking at a smaller tournament as well.
Yeah,
Due to
so
sheer
it doesn't
numbers.
take as long. And also another factor, ironically, it might be easier for you to get to the Belgian nationals if you're living in the western part of Germany,
Yeah.
in
Than the
case the
actual
German
Germans.
nationals happen to be in somewhere in the east or something.
And I know I love talking about these stats, so I'm going to go on. There is more interesting
wait, there's
information.
more?
There is more interesting information about these players. So Fabio, at the last YCS Prague, came 9th.
Oh,
Ninth.
wow,
So that
okay.
it means he probably got top 16. So top 16. He had a 91% win ratio during
So-
last year's Prague.
Wait, which
Well, okay.
Not,
so
not the
he-
February one, the one during 2016.
So did he just lose that in that round 16? Was his first loss?
Yeah, I think no. It was
one draw,
11,
one loss.
11 one loss, one draw. Yeah, so his
Yeah,
one
so
loss will have been.
It's undefeated until the top cut, and then of course he lost in the top
Yeah.
cut, which also explains the 9th place. He must have had an amazing tiebreaker.
Yeah, and speaking of the nationals, he played in Italian nationals and came 18th, which is pretty respectable.
In Italian nationals.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's also like a mini YC.
So the stats supporting Fabio as a stronger player. He's also playing the more renowned deck. We'll see if Georg actually makes something happen.
I'm
with-
rooting for the underdog. It has nothing to do with
He's
the
got
fact
the
he's
outsider
German.
deck, so he can absolutely take this down with
Yep.
surprise. Those evenly matches are way less effective when you are forced
With
to hold
the
tokens.
Yeah.
I was actually talking with JY after his feature match, and he was talking about the mindset that we were just saying just now about, well, one player is way favored against the other. And he was like, yeah, I get people coming up to me saying, oh, this person beat me and they weren't very good and things like that. And and JY actually said that's one thing he really loves about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that anyone can win.
Yeah, that ultimately the cards coming out, there is an element of randomness. It's just variance part of the game.
Yeah.
That's a contract you sign when you sit down, that if you build your deck with 10 hand traps, you might draw 5 hand traps.
Look at this baby Cerosaurus. It's so cute.
Is this your first time seeing this card? This is a very old card.
Yeah, but no,
It doesn't take away from how adorable it is.
it's exactly my point. Look at that.
He couldn't even get out the egg. Look at him.
Yeah, I would dress it up and give it like a bottle with milk or something. This is, yeah.
If I learned anything from Jurassic Park, is you don't want to keep dinosaurs as pets. It always ends in tears.
Yeah.
Actually, if you look at the effect of Baby Cerosaurus, it's actually quite sad that whenever Baby Cerosaurus is destroyed, he goes and gets his big brother to help fight the monster.
The mother comes over and goes, "What have you done?"
That escalated very quickly, yeah.
Ah.
Somebody has a very terrible sense of humor in the Konami offices. Let's just. So what do you do here as Fabio? Do you actually move the token to go into its attack position and ram it into something, so you can go into evenly matched and get rid of the token beforehand?
Potentially, we are going to probably be seeing Georg maybe starting with a Lagia as well, which is going to force 2 copies of evenly matched. Depends on how he starts. How many copies of Lagia does he play? Just one.
Just
One.
one. Just one.
Yep.
One of both the Alvazars.
There was a time when Lagia was considered the best card.
Oh yeah, you go Rescue Rabbit,
like-
summon Lagia.
It's a judgment on steroids,
Yep.
or on legs. Sometimes.
legs.
I remember when we first were working on the set list for, I think it was Cosmo Blazer.
Yeah.
There was a question of whether or not we should print this card because of how powerful the effect was.
At the
Now,
time.
At time, yeah. The times have
Yeah.
changed now, and it's less impactful
Yeah.
because of the number of moves each player can make during a turn is increasing some. But
Now it's like, what, you need 2 specific monsters to special summon this?
yeah, it's 2 dinosaurs to
Yeah.
summon. But then people were using Tour Guide of from the Underworld to get another monster and then make Levier the Sea Dragon. Then Levier
Yeah.
the Sea Dragon gets back the Rescue Rabbit who gives
And
you 2 more dinosaurs.
Fabio's actually now indicating, can you speed this up a little bit? So, and I don't know what has been happening, if they had like a conversation in between that we didn't see. I didn't see the lips moving, to be honest. I think it's a fair point. I don't think that Georg was really like picking up the pace here, so to speak.
Yeah, that's both players are entitled to the same amount of clock in any given round. So to be courteous to your opponent, you should be playing at a timely pace.
Yeah. But of course, I mean, we're just ensuring that everybody gets fair, equal opportunity, so to speak.
Yeah.
If one guy is just having more time to think, that's of course giving him an advantage. Which is going to result in a warning, in case you're wondering, in case you've never been to a large event like this one. And from there, if this happens again, it's getting worse, which translates to game loss.
Yeah, this is why your best thing that you can do at home is test with the clock and
Yeah.
time yourself and get used to your combos. Regardless of how complicated the situation is, you are still responsible for making a decision in a timely manner that allows both players to use the correct amount of time from the clock, which is half each.
Yep. All right, so we see some more special summons, and Fabio getting a little bit less patient. I'm not blaming him, just saying. Okay, and it's his turn. We did not see Lakia or Dolka.
No, just a Deco
Didn't really have a chance to go for that.
Imperial Order. Actually, that's not so bad. When Fabio, if Fabio does go into his battle phase, ram his token. Lost World's when a dinosaur is normal summoned, right?
Let's bring it up again.
Like, because I know it can destroy cards in the deck. If normal monster field would be destroyed by battle,
Normal or special summon.
so he can actually get rid of the token. Because if it would be destroyed by battle or card effect, he destroys the dinosaur in his deck instead and leaves his opponent with the token.
Yeah,
On the
just on the
field,
field.
yeah.
It's not on your side of the field. Yeah.
Oh, on your okay. My bad.
No. It's just on the field. You're right.
Alright.
If a normal monster on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy that many in your hand.
But Imperial Order.
Yeah, but,
Imperial
Imperial
Order.
Order.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the problem with theory crafting. You're just like walking deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, and then at some point you just forget what was
happening.
Yeah.
Actually,
I do that all the time.
at this point, looking at your hand, you've got you've only got terraforming and dinosaurs. I'm wondering if you keep the Imperial Order. Because his opponent's hand does nothing if he... well, his opponent's hand does nothing anyway. So maybe just keep the Decode Talker.
Yeah, I think.
Keeps the
Oh,
Imperial Order.
that's
Okay.
odd.
Yeah, well, he had no way of knowing it. His opponent's hand doesn't do anything.
That seems rather odd though, because he's got a terraforming. He can't really play now.
Well, what are his life draws? He's got Overraptor. Yeah, he's actually got tons of search spells that he can't play, and he can't get rid of his Imperial Order.
Yeah,
This is going to be not the game we were expecting here.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually holding that Imperial Order, yeah, immediately draw pass.
But it was more a case of, okay, I cannot win anytime soon, but I cannot lose immediately.
He had a Max C in hand as well if his opponent did go to combo and the next card was Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, so maybe it would have been correct to keep...
I mean, he didn't know that Ghost
Decode
Ogre and Snow
Talker.
Rabbit was the next.
Yeah, true.
Just to point that out.
Yeah.
Survival's End. And he said it. What's the first effect of that, Luke?
Destroy as many normal monsters on the field as possible. So that's on the field, not yours.
Yep.
And if you do special summon level 4 or lower dinosaur monsters from your deck up to the number destroyed, but then destroy them during the end phase.
Okay. Well, currently no normal monsters in play, and Imperial Order continues to tick away, and Fabio just drawing absolutely nothing turn after turn, and he's just keeping himself in a position where he does have a second copy of Evenly Matched that he has access to.
And now he just has to summon Super Agent, call it right, hit the Imperial Order, and then that's game, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. He's just going to normal summon and attack.
I guess he doesn't want to attempt to potentially run into Solemn Strike or something. And he's just got a normal summon anyway. I wonder if you would have revealed your opponent's top card before just to see if it goes through. I guess
Yeah,
he wants to leave the Imperial Order up if his opponent is jammed as well. Mad
Yeah.
Flame Kaiju. You don't want to give that to your opponent.
No.
And with
got
1900
Gofu,
life
though.
points. Oh, does he have Gofu?
Yeah, just drew it.
Okay, that's good.
It's down to 1,200 already.
Yeah, so this Gofu gets interrupted, then that's going to be a huge problem.
Is it going to get interrupted?
No, I don't think there's... Fabio has on the field Rescue, so no, he doesn't even have any spirals in his graveyard. But he might just win this game off of a one copy of Evenly Matched and let his opponent's Imperial Order kill him. Or drain him.
Well,
Yeah.
the last time we saw this happen was during the finals of the European Championships, where Marcello decided to almost lose because of Imperial Order and then came back.
Yeah, he actually said afterwards, yeah, I should have got rid of that turns ago.
Yeah,
It's easy to say afterwards.
yeah.
You can make up to... okay, where does he go from here?
He's already used one Deco target. Does he play two, Matt?
Well, you have his list.
Fair point.
No, he mixed up sided extra. I'm like,
No.
why is there no card that should be in the extra deck?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's going
Loads
to
of
use
people do that.
Alkaeus Magician to return the Kaiju back to his hand. So he gets to remove his opponent's threat
I love that.
and take the Kaiju out.
I love that move. It's so cool. Because you get to pick where you put the Kaiju.
But how does he get rid of the Imperial Order?
I don't think he has to. I think he just has to maintain board control.
Well, after he's going to lose 700 life points in his opponent's turn,
Yeah, you can't
comes
lose.
back to him, and it will be destroyed because he can't pay the cost.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't lose to Imperial Order.
But his life points are going to be so low.
Yeah, he's going to be on 500 life points.
Cowboy would be good.
Did you say that if you're Fabio? Just,
Cowboy for
Cowboys
game?
again?
Yeah, cowboy for game. You shuffle up.
But you don't have any monsters.
Yeah, that's
doesn't matter. Cowboy for game.
Chain Strike? What?
Hello.
Yeah, that Ghost Reaper is going to be doing a bunch of nothing in this matchup. There are no good targets in the extra deck for Fabio to actually punish the Dinosaur deck. Well, there's a couple of XE monsters that might be overlapping, like Babuska. I don't know if that's being played in your deck over there, Luke, or Tornado Dragon.
Yeah, I see.
Baguska
Tornado
is played. And
All right, so the
yeah,
Winter Cherry
Tornado Dragon.
is possible.
He's going to rescue the Super Agent.
And Maxi is being played preemptively.
Georg wants to win on his very next turn. I mean, he knows that there must be a million spell cards in Fabio's hand, so he needs to set this up, obviously.
Georg needs to win next turn.
Yeah,
There's no
he
question.
absolutely needs to win next turn.
He has to.
But
His next card is Foolish Burial of Belongings, because that just got revealed by the SPYRAL Super Agent. So he can... Does he have anything amazing to send from his deck to the graveyard apart from the trap card we talked about earlier?
No, I think it's the trap card. The trap card's the target.
He's only got to get 4,500 in, and dinosaurs are pretty good at smashing damage.
that is true. They've been smashing face for millions of years.
Alchemist is 1,700, so this is going to be 200 damage coming in.
Rush recklessly. Bam.
I'd be surprised, you know. Oh, Imperial Order locking up.
Only you.
And there we're seeing Imperial Order getting sent away right now. Georg has to win.
Yeah, Georg Scherer on 300 life points. This is
I don't know
almost
how he
like a
does it.
timeout situation.
I actually don't know how he does it from here, to be honest.
Doesn't
but
have much. He has, yeah, and he doesn't have much. Still sounds like an understatement.
Yep, he sends Survival's End to the graveyard.
That's the German version, so that's going to make a little bit harder for Fabio to read.
Überlebensender.
Yep, it's pretty good actually.
Überlebensender.
Überlebensender.
Überlebensende.
Überlebensende.
It's basically you first call a cab. That's the Uber part. Then it's Leben, which is life, and then it's end. Doesn't make any sense.
Phonetic pronunciation with Oliver. Start with Uber, the company.
Yeah, obviously. Okay, so all of this is not really working out the way that Georg has dreamt about. I think we're currently in the situation where Judge is explaining to Fabio what the card is doing exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is this a good spot for Georg to be in? I mean, he's obviously 300 life points is terrible.
He's got 300 life points. His terraforming doesn't get him a search. He's not playing Dragonic Diagram or anything.
No, he's playing 3 copies of Lost World.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I don't know what he does here. And Fabio's going to win without actually having to do anything. Like the Imperial lets his opponent's Imperial Order run him out. But we'll see, we'll see. I'm not so familiar with the Dinosaur deck post this part of the format, so there's every opportunity that I could be wrong.
Obviously, the second effect of the Survival's End is a quick effect, so you can do it during his opponent's turn. His trap card. I don't know whether he's planning on trying to defend himself with that. Don't know.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that Kaiju gives him a token, doesn't it?
Yep.
They're asking who gets a token. And it should
That's
be
confusing.
because the dinosaur summoned to his opponent's side of the field. I think
should be him.
Georg gets a token.
Yeah.
And then he's going to use his trap
Alcast.
card to destroy the token and his opponent's.
You can just outcast at that point. Oh, he's only
No, he uses
playing
tokens.
If
one,
a
yeah.
dinosaur monster is normal or special summoned to your opponent's field in defense position. Sorry, no. If dinosaur monster is normal or special summoned to your opponent's field in defense position, which is not what he did.
No, if a dinosaur type monster is normal or special summoned,
You can
You
Oh
can
yeah,
summon someone
there's
one-
the
Oh, no,
there's the
you have
colon,
to give
yeah.
your opponent the token. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Bit confusing, yeah. So you can
And
even
Survival's
triggers-
End.
so yeah, now he can destroy the token and summon a dinosaur from his
But
deck.
he can use Lost World to destroy a dinosaur in his deck instead of destroying the token, right?
Okay,
I
so Survival's
think
End
so,
only
yeah.
works with your dinosaur and
Ah,
one
okay.
card your opponent controls. I mean, obviously, that would
No,
otherwise...
it's first effect right now that it's resolving
yeah. And
of Survival's End. As you can tell, the viewers at home, we are no dinosaur experts.
yeah. It didn't study archaeology.
Yeah. But Georg, I'm sure is, and he's going to make the best play that is available to his deck here. So yeah, I think... So that's that's the summon from Survival's End on the field.
Yep, and Ultimate Conductor Tyranno being added.
That's from the Soul-Eating Oviraptor, right?
That is correct.
This must be so confusing when you're playing against that deck.
Yeah, I've
And you
never
have
played
like
against
no
dinos.
idea what's going
And
on.
it's in German as well.
Yeah.
So it's not even your native language
Yeah.
that these ridiculous effects are being played on.
All of this must be really, really weird. And obviously you're in a tough situation. Like you need to win to stamp the ticket to the top 32 train. And then gigantic dinosaur is just like, attention passengers, the train is delayed because there's a dinosaur on the track.
Don't panic. We've got some guys out to sort that out.
Yeah, we had our own very own special agent to sort that out, yeah.
We said our best man.
we have a master plan to get around this. Just give us a second. Yeah, this is a storyboard.
Spiral Reloaded. Maybe that's the go second deck. Spiral Reloaded.
Yeah, actually. Yeah,
There we go, we got one.
finally, finally we did it, yeah. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Good
Product
job.
manager. Took way too long.
Should be in marketing.
Made it just in time for the deadline, right?
Yeah, during the PDF review stage. Okay.
I'll be in my trailer. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Okay, so we see the
I think that's
Survival's
actually.
End.
That's a pretty good spot to be in all of
Yeah.
a sudden. It looked really, really terrible. And just Georg is like slowly but steadily getting rid of the first or the second or the third. He still has 2 cards in hand and there's a Ghost Ogre. So a little bit of disruption.
I think it's still got to be. It's got Fabio's
still
got to
think
win
that
here,
Fabio's-
like 300 points of damage.
Yeah, Fabio's got way too many cards in hand.
Should have, yeah.
Yeah.
How much time is left in the round?
We've got quite a bit, I think. Interestingly, the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is a quick effect, so potential play if Fabio commits a bunch of monsters to the field and is unable to answer the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, he's going to be able to flip his opponent's monsters face down. Face down monsters can't be used as link materials.
Yeah.
And then Ultimate Conductor Tyranno can just attack over all of them, dealing 1,000 for each one, and pick up the game that way. It's only 3 attacks that need to get through off the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And he's also holding a Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit as well. So
It's not over.
Georg,
It's not over
Georg
yet.
has a path to victory, despite being extremely low and his opponent's card count extremely high.
And keep in mind there's Lost World. So Lost World might make it a little bit harder. Actually, there's no token on the field. So I guess it's not that relevant right now. Because
Oh, so they're lowering the
you can
attack.
only no, you can only target tokens. The
Lost
opponent.
World is done anyway.
Yeah, Lost World is not doing...
It was destroyed
Oh,
by
okay.
Super Agent.
Okay, then don't keep anything in mind. Just forget everything I said.
The feature match has got 17 minutes remaining.
Yeah, see? It's a pretty long game 1.
Yeah, I can see why Fabio might have been complaining about the time a little bit earlier. Actually, Georg can't flip Link monsters face down with Ultimate Conductor Tyranno.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't use its effect before the Link summon.
It might have been anticipated his opponent then just follows up and
I
gets
guess
him that way.
if he summons Master Plan, he could flip Master Plan down. That would be pretty good timing for that.
The Master Plan is... Where is the Master Plan? I think if Fabio had it in his graveyard maybe already?
Oh, really?
Maybe. Maybe I...
What is the best time to flip face down? in your opinion?
I felt like it would have been before the Link summon, but it's like makes sense to do it when he summons from
Well,
double hooks as well. Like,
Oh, wait, hold on. Does Georg only have Ghost Ogre in his hand?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah.
Ultimate Conductor can destroy any monster or just a dinosaur?
You can destroy one monster.
Okay,
any
so he
monster
can use
in your
his
hand or field.
Gofu and then use his Snow Rabbit. I think he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't want to let
now,
the.
yeah.
He doesn't want to let the Spiral Tough.
I think this is
remove
great
his monster.
timing. I think this is great timing.
Okay.
I think here or before the Link summon was fine.
So Quick Fix returns to the field.
Yeah. Currently, he doesn't actually have a zone that he can Link summon to unless he uses the double helix.
Yeah, but that's 4 materials, Borreload Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Borreload to take your Ultimate Conductor and have the dinosaur beat your face in. So exactly as we said.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, I think he should have Ghost Ogred the quick fix.
It might have made sense there, actually.
Yeah. I think he should have Ghost Ogred the quick fix. Actually, to be completely honest, I actually think he should have Ghost Ogred the double helix. That would have made a lot more sense.
I don't think the double helix got used.
Did it not? It's something tough.
No, didn't he normal summon the tough from his hand?
No, he searched his deck for that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
So now this has got out of control. I
So
think
maybe there was a path to victory, but
Yeah,
now it seems like that
yeah, it's past.
train has left the station, so to
Yeah.
speak.
The Ghost Ogre timing is gone now. He's not going to be able to use that effectively.
Yeah.
This is the thing with the
And-
Spiral that EA is
Yeah,
calling
now
it out.
Georg-
Georg is in agreement. Yes, this is it. I mean, Fabio has already been indicating that. He's like, yeah, look at this, I got it.
Yeah, this is taking too much time. Just
Yeah.
concede,
The
please.
judges have given a time extension on this match.
Okay.
Because
Um,
of a warning being issued.
Well, just the amount
For
of
the
time for
translation.
translations.
Ah, yeah,
and-
sure.
But to clarify, they have not given a slow play warning.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just so you guys are 100% on the same page with us. There has been a time extension because of translation issues,
Yeah.
which makes sense, of course.
Yeah. I think there was kind of it was commented upon, but no official warning was given. So that's, yeah. Depending on the severity, sometimes our judges on the feature match just like to,
Yeah, I mean,
usher
you
people
have,
along
it's hard
before it
playing
becomes
there
formal.
in that area, especially this weekend where it's actually open.
Yeah.
So you can see Fabio turning to the right and making a move that says, "Shh, be quiet." That was to his friends who can actually see what's going on the field. They don't have to watch it on the big screen. I mean, they can watch it on the big screen, but they can also see what's happening because they can
A big screen set out just in front, so if they want to see the cards in hand and stuff, the crowd can.
So they get a really, really good first-hand impression of what it's like to be sitting in that feature match area.
If I was Fabio, with the knowledge that I'm probably going second, the Solemn Strikes aren't coming in here. Luke,
Yes, man.
Psyframe Espelon.
Espelon.
What does it do?
Epsilon.
Epsilon. My apologies.
It's the one against Trickstar. It's the Trickstar one.
Okay.
I know that Eugen Hyde was interested in that card.
Let me yeah, because he was asking you for one.
He was like, "Hey, nice to see you. Do you have Epsilon?" And so, just to give you some context, the last 15 times somebody asked me for anything, it was always, "Can you charge my phone?" So my natural idea was like, "Is that some new Samsung phone, and you need me to charge it for you?" Or
You can
something?
tell you've aged.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to read Epsilon for you now. So it's a Psyframe gear, so it's got all the kind of usual things about it. And it's the one that negates trap cards.
Okay. Because you can negate...
Reincarnation.
Right, yes, well, you've got nothing. Okay. There's also Mind Crush. Again,
I
probably
love
not so
Mind
effective
Crush.
going
Yeah, but
second.
it's really hard to read that deck, to
Yeah,
see what's
yeah,
coming
actually,
in that deck.
yeah,
I mean,
that's-
in any other matchup, yes, but
You got a couple of good
there's a
chainable moments, but
Well, it's perfect if you have the information, but he just doesn't
Yeah.
know what cards he's playing.
yeah. It's like that card that you just searched, whatever its name is.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that's not allowed, but just that's his only target ever
Yeah,
for
that
Mind
thing that you
Crush.
just searched.
Yeah. So like, oh, I think Ultimate Conducted Tyranno, maybe? Yeah, it's maybe Lost World after terraforming, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. There's the Fossil Dig as well. There's Soul-Eating Overraptor.
Overraptor, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So there's moments, but if you're going second, you're probably not bringing in the Mind Crushers, to be honest, because you expect your opponent to commit many of their search and resources during their first turn. So there's actually not a lot of side deck options for Fabio. However, we should expect that Georg has many options for SPYRAL, being the most expected deck for the weekend.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. I mean, and I'm just going to eat my words. Let's just go back on that one. We don't see any of the hand traps. I mean, he's already main decking a couple of them, but there's not much else here. We got Psy-Frame Gamma, Psy-Frame Lord, DD Crows, evenly matched, but only one copy. And then artifacts. We haven't seen artifacts.
Yeah, no, artifacts are pretty
Artifact Scythe, is that?
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scythe and Sanctum.
It hard
course.
passes a SPYRAL turn because they can't make any link summons when it's summoned.
Yeah, but we haven't seen it this weekend
No,
so far, right?
we've not. I think players kind of shied away from it when people were trying the artifacts in London. And I remember some of the players saying it did affect the way of deciding whether or not you would use your super agent to destroy your opponent's blind back row cards, because the back punish for playing into that is horrendous. You end up losing your turn essentially because you can't make any link summons, and you also end up losing one of your cards.
Okay. Yes. So I think Georg just got a slow play warning for the siding. He took too long.
Took more than 3 minutes.
Yep. So our head judge team is going to be involved at this point. So
Yeah, I mean, I get it that you don't want to get a warning because you don't want your tournament performance to be affected, but there's one kind of warning that there's like no point in ever calling the head judge over in that slow play. If a judge says, I think you were too slow, and then the player's like, no, I disagree. Judge walks over to the head judge, tells him, yeah, he took 2 minutes to do this and this. Like, what are you going to say as a player? Yeah, I looked at the clock while doing that, and I needed 1 minute 50 seconds. Or what's your argument there?
Yeah.
And so there's only one way this is going to end, and it's going to be that the head judge says, yes, I agree with my judge. Not saying you should never appeal, don't get me wrong, but...
No, I absolutely tell everyone if they're ever unsure, appeal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I used to head judge regionals quite often, and I always did a little speech that always was the general message was, please appeal, because I would rather you get it out of the way now than to
hear it afterwards on the forums.
Yeah, and then
I'd rather you tell me now that there was a problem with the ruling than so then I can address it and do something about it. Or if I see you complaining on Facebook in 5 days time, then I can't do anything about it at that point.
I'm gonna come after you. I have a certain set of skills.
Yeah, it's just what do you want from me?
I can withstand infinite abuse on Facebook. Shout out to my friend Justin. At this point in time, that seems like the correct time. And, just in case you're wondering, of course these guys are going to have 40 minutes to play their match. So even if the judge now needs to go to the call over the head judge and have the appeal and all of that fun stuff, that doesn't affect that in any way. They're still going to be ending up with 40 minutes for their match. Yeah. So we did see those that first game. Didn't exactly go as expected.
Yeah.
We did have the Imperial Order on Georg's side of the field. Looked for a brief moment like...
it was buying time.
It was buying time. But he didn't really assemble anything in his hand that allowed him to then just smash over his opponent.
The deck is super complicated in the way that it interacts. It's a little bit difficult from our end because I've not seen this in tournament setting before.
No, me neither.
So I can only imagine being the opponent of that, how that's kind of very intimidating when you're trying to understand these interactions when you've not tested them.
I've certainly had that before where I show up to a tournament and I'm expecting everyone to be playing Necros.
It's been the downfall of many great players who say, the format was this, I beat all of that format, but I lose the rogue. And it's like, well...
Yeah, exactly.
Can you really get mad at the player for coming with the outsider deck when his whole goal was to beat you?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point, yeah. Your goal was to beat everyone else in the room with a skillful mirror match.
It would be fun if that was like a strategy for like a team of players. So you have like 10 guys, 8 of them are playing the supposedly best deck, and then 2 are just playing rogue decks to kick out the other rogue decks. So paving the way.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the match because these guys are ready for their second game with something like 15 minutes on the clock remaining as far as I know.
Yeah, around 15 minutes.
We're probably not going to get to a game 3 here. A draw would be bad for both of these players at this part of the tournament, right?
I think it wouldn't be terrible, to be honest. Let's just bring this up for you
Yeah,
guys.
both of them at X1 right now.
Yeah.
So a draw wouldn't be
Okay, so a draw would
too
still
bad.
leave them with.
They have to
another
win. They have to win next round, though, at that point.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But both of them could still
Oh,
sneak in.
draw pass. That is not where you really want to be on turn 1 against. Oh, okay. Fabio deciding he doesn't want to play into a potential evenly matched from Georg. So he just sets 1 pass. And he has access to 2 copies of Gamma, Joyous, and Joyous Spring.
Yeah. Well, you can only ever use 1 Gamma because of the driver.
So Georg is currently 14th. So
No, he's got the.
he's in very safe waters, and Fabio is actually 10th.
Okay, so
so-
they've got a game to burn either way.
Yeah, both of these guys can happily lose this game and be good about it. Be
Oh.
like, yeah,
I want to give massive credit to Georg's deck choice. He must be doing extremely well with it to be so high in the standings with something that's so off the wall.
Yeah.
yeah. But obviously the element of surprise is playing a major role there.
Yeah, it must be. Oh, okay, this is going to be unpleasant for Georg now because
He's
if
got
his hand wasn't already bad, it's going to be as bad as it possibly could be.
Yeah, we see terraforming there, baby Cerosaurus.
Soul Eating Oviraptor to the top,
Okay.
I believe. Which,
Yeah.
yeah, if there's no monsters in play, that could make sense. But there's a Lost World. Oh, it's Artifact Scythe, sorry. No, yeah, so that's really bad.
Yeah,
It does
that's
absolutely nothing.
Amazing when you know what's coming.
And we can see Fabio getting to where he's feeling more and more confident. And when this resolves,
Yeah, at this point we might reconsider whether this match is going to go to time or not.
yeah, Fabio might take this down 2-0.
Yeah, because right now it's looking really, really good for Fabio.
Yeah, there's no interaction that I can see. Goes for quick fix because he's already drawn the master plan. So that tells Georg where the master plan is. And he adds Spiral Big Red. Spiral Gear Big Red to his hand. Think summon another double helix. Discard the master plan to bring back the
Otacon.
Prefix.
Otacon! Otacon! No! This is... oh, it's the other way around. He's always going, Snake! Snake! And then, yeah. This is never...
dear.
Nobody ever played this video game? No?
Nope.
No?
Never heard of it.
I have to watch it. Like, all of these modern Metal Gear games are just turning into movies. My wife is playing them, and I'm just watching
like I
cutscene after cutscene.
really loved Escape from New York. I thought that was a great film. Yeah, that was I don't remember Otacon being in a movie though.
Master plan. She's up. She's ready to go. Look at her. She's in attack mode. She's sat upright. She's not messing around.
This is not the usual thing that she does.
No, she's not
Normally
messing around.
sitting on her...
Oh, no, she's gone.
No,
Deco Talker coming out.
I've seen this guy before.
You normally have to pull one out of the data storm, but for you guys, you can pick him up in
Ooh,
the starter deck if you still haven't got your Deco Talker.
there's some deep pulls here. All right,
That's
this is looking really, really good for Fabio, and it's just gonna get better. With Georg, nothing in his hand to stop all of this from resolving.
Yeah.
He does have a Survival's End, which the name might suggest that this is a good card right now. Or actually, the name is the name is the program here. Like, his survival is gonna come to an end. Like, those poor dinosaurs gonna be kicked out of the evolution
Yeah.
chain.
Well, they've still got another period to go through before they're completely gone, which is one final round.
Yep.
So even a loss here will keep Georg in. It's just which was first, the Cretaceous or the Jurassic period?
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm no expert.
Well versed in that.
It's one of those things that we just don't remember anymore because we can Google it.
Yep, that's true.
Like, how do I get anywhere? Like, I remember there'd be a time where you wouldn't leave your house unless you knew where you were going, and now it's just like, oh, I've got a map.
I'm just coming.
Alexa.
Yeah,
That's handshake.
and that is it. Yeah. Fabio Zuccato actually makes sure we're not going to time, but just showing us what SPYRAL does best when there's no interruption from your opponent. Let's talk about that in our post-match analysis. Yeah, for a second there, it looked like we're going to see a big upset by the Dinosaur player, Georg Scherer from Germany, bringing something extremely unique to the table. He now just collected his second loss this weekend, so very, very good record so far, 9-0-2. I think either way, this is going to be an interesting deck feature. Like, people are going to be interested in this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would love to hear from him about the interactions, like what are the coolest tricks that this deck can pull.
Yeah.
Hey, it would be really good
see a little bit
to
of it.
talk to him because we can only sort of anticipate what we think he's going to do. However, we haven't sat down and practiced the combos
Yeah,
in the same way to
absolutely
see
not.
what the deck does when it really goes off.
Yeah.
So it would have been great to talk to him about that.
You
Yeah.
could you could see the potential though. Like we could at least like
Yeah.
enough see that.
It was like, you always got like a glimpse. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, and now your opponent cannot target your monsters. So that's pretty good, I think. And
Yeah.
oh, now you have something that you can activate in your opponent's turn.
Oh, I've made
From
your
the
evenly
graveyard.
matched much worse. You know, little just
Yeah.
the tiny little
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, one thing after another just hinted at the greatness of the dinosaurs here.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was SPYRAL, the deck to beat this weekend, that has also been doing pretty well. Was, of course, the most popular deck going into the tournament, and it's just staying on top. The big question for you guys, when we're going to the top cut, what do you think? How many SPYRALs are we going to see out of those top 32 decks?
I expect about 50% based on YCS San Diego, based on... Well, people may have improved, so the number might be higher than that, but I'm tempted to say along 50% with the rest of the decks being decks very well kitted. And we're going to see a lot of SPYRALs getting knocked out very quickly by the players that came prepared for that matchup.
I'm going to 20.
Whether it gets...
Sorry, 20 out of 32.
Yeah.
So higher than 50%.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I would, let's just say I'm in the middle of you two guys. I'm just going to go with 18 then. So that's going to be
Okay.
interesting. But what do you guys think, what's going to happen after the first knockout stage? Do we going to see the SPYRALs going up in relative numbers? Or do you think that all
think it's
the
gonna be the
other
other way.
decks in the top 32 are going to be like, this might have not been the best deck to reach the top 32, but
Yeah.
once I'm in there, I
think-
got the
Yeah.
perfect tech.
It depends on the matchups because if
The
so-
brackets, yeah.
Yeah, if like let's go with extremes here, very hyperbolic. If the entirety of the SPYRALs are on one end and the like everyone else is on the
So
other side,
yeah.
then these guys are going to have a bad time because they're just going to be like, okay, well, I'm not playing in SPYRALs. I want to play in SPYRALs.
Yeah.
And all the SPYRAL guys are just going to be like, yeah, SPYRAL in my matches, that's fine.
Yeah,
But-
I've been practicing this.
Yeah, and depending on like where those matchups actually end up lying. So if you play, if like a pendulum person plays against Trickstar, then they're gonna have a bad time. Versus like if they play nothing but SPYRAL all the way through the bracket and they aimed to play SPYRAL all the way through
Yep.
the bracket, then that'll be good for them. So it depends on where you end up sitting in the bracket, I think.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Those decks that wanted to beat SPYRAL, if they're not getting matched against SPYRAL, they're going to have a harder game. Obviously, these players have played extremely well. They've not just played SPYRAL their whole tournament, so they are going to be prepared for some of the mirrors or some of the other big decks. But I expect to see SPYRAL probably taking a bit of a beating, and then the absolute best SPYRAL players progressing onto the top 4.
All right.
And then from there, it's usually, even if your deck is kitted to beat their deck, the really, really strong player with the meta deck can just win because the deck is so good.
Yeah.
So at the moment, the world revolves around SPYRAL, so to speak. We are going to talk to one of those SPYRAL players next. Let's bring in Fabio Zuccato from our last round for the interview.